Coach, are you surprised that you guys are 15-7 from what you thought about this team at the start of the year?
No. When you open up with Gonzaga, there's a good chance that's one. when you play Tennessee at Tennessee, there's a good chance that's two. Not saying it should be, but there's a good chance. And then you look at it. Okay, so you play at OU and you play at Baylor. And who else we'd lose to in the league? We play at West Virginia.
Texas at home. Texas at home was the one that I think shocked everybody, right?
Yeah, but they were really good. I mean, they got a good team, guys. If they got three guys on the perimeter that can all stretch it, if they're on and you play around those three bigs, they're good. But our schedule, Robbie, has been a monster. I mean,
Right.
If you look at it, if you say, okay, you got Gonzaga, Kentucky, and Creighton all in the first, and West Virginia and Texas Tech all in the first. If you could get through that with one loss, that's ridiculously good.
Sure.
And we did. So 15-7. Maybe it could be 17-5. Maybe it could be 16-6. But I'm not sure. I'm not being negative. I'm just being realistic. We lost a lot last year. I'm not sure that this is a team whose record would be great at this point because, like Toby Keith said, I'm a good once. I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. That's kind of like us right now. Over a stretch of time, we're not going to sustain that, but for one game, we could play to a really, really high level. I think.
So I tweeted it out early. I think like maybe after your first game, even maybe it was that Gonzaga game. I don't remember, but I tweeted out like this Kansas team just doesn't have Kansas talent. They just don't. And your fans now, again, it's a segment of the fan base, right? It's Twitter Kansas fans went bananas on me. They're like, you're out of your mind. You're wrong. This, that, and the other. And my whole deal to them was, listen, the NCAA investigation has caught up with you guys in terms of recruiting and the talent. And it maybe didn't for the last couple of years because you were able to get Dotson and Doak and those guys. How much do you feel like that's the case?
Well, the NCAA investigation has caught up to us right after we signed Devon's class. It was Devon, Quentin Grimes, and David McCormick. And so we've had 2.5 recruiting classes since then. That has been, it's been hard. I mean, everybody goes through crap, and nobody's going to feel sorry for us because we're going through crap. But it's been more difficult. I mean, there's been a lot of players that I think that we've been right there to get. That was a deciding factor. At least based on what we've been told. Now, that doesn't mean positively we would have got them, but it means positively that we didn't get them because of it. So, and if you look around America, those are guys that are difference makers on national contenders. Yeah, it's hurt us, but nobody's going to feel sorry for us. The thing about it is, Jeff, and I think Robbie would agree to this to an extent. You lost Eton Moore and Johnson, that the guy who had an unbelievable. He may have been Big Ten Player of the Year if I'm not mistaken.
He was. His senior year was Big Ten Player of the Year. Juwan.
Okay, so you lost those guys, and your senior year. So did expectations change?
I would say yes.
Okay, but
the tournament became like good.
But at Kansas, they don't. At Kansas, they don't.
That's what's one thing we don't. We lost 5 starters, I think, 3 times and won the league the next year.
Right.
So it's been like expectations, faces change, but expectations don't. So from a coach's standpoint,
to me, Bill, when I look at your team, I say like, you don't have that dude. And you and I talked in the offseason, and I remember you trying to convince me that Marcus Garrett was going to be really good at the point guard spot. And I was like, I just want to see it because he's not a true point. He's not. He's really good though. He's really good. But he's not a guy who gets guys easy shots, and that's what your team needs.
No. But the way that we've gotten easy shots in the past, we could play above the rim. We could do some different things. It's amazing. in basketball, and Robbie understands this, the most subtle little things make such a difference in how you play, your schemes, and if you're any good. For instance, when we won the national championship in 08, we had three big guys, Sasha Khan, Darnell Jackson, and the best one was Drell Arthur. He was a fabulous college player. I mean, great. And those guys could, back then, nobody downed the ball screens. Everybody hedged them. And Robbie knows this. And so back then, if you could sprint and create separation in setting a ball screen, it always forced a situation where it was a loose hedge and good guards could dominate that. Mm-hmm. The next year, our big guy was Cole Aldridge. He couldn't create any separation. We're like going, our ball, what is wrong with us? We can't go anywhere. Sharon Collins doesn't have any space. We got no game. And it was because Cole couldn't create separation off that. So that's one tweak we had to do to change how we play just because of that one situation. And it's the same way, like when you have Doak last year, who was maybe, he's proven through the combine, and I'm sure you heard about that gruesome injury he just had, but it's so sad. But and Frank got hurt last night or the night before too. So his groin, but it's so sad for those guys. But Doak was a guy that if you left to go guard Marcus, he threw it up and he dunked it. Now they don't leave. They can leave to go guard Marcus. So now, before Marcus was scoring over 6'3", 6'5" guard in the paint. Now he's scoring over 6'3", 6'5" guard with the big guy coming to help. And the shots just aren't there as much. It's not Marcus. Marcus's play had a great year. Marcus is it's unbelievable defensively what he does. I mean, it's just like we stunk yesterday at Iowa State offensively, but Bolton scores 2 points on him. He scores 2. He got more on other people, but we switched so much. But he's had a good, really good, solid year. But he doesn't have that guy with him that can take some pressure off of him right now.